Alright guys, this is going to be a step-by-step. Might be a little bit long, but it's step-by-step for beginners, people that don't know anything like me. So I'm about to find out and let you know. Alright, before we get started, hit like and subscribe. It's free, helps me out. And impresses my wife that anybody would like anything that I do. So hey, there you go. Currently we are not connected to a water supply. But there's a cold water line hooked to the toilet, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure there is no pressure on the line. This valve is right along the level of the toilet, so that thing leaks. I'm sure it's the valve leaking. Doesn't really matter to me why it's leaking. It's leaking. I don't like it. I don't like the shape, I don't like the size, so I'm going to get rid of it. Right, that right there is the type of toilet that I have that I'm replacing. Alright, you can see right here I got a PEX line to my water valve. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to modify this or not, we'll see. My big interest right now is how well the toilet will actually fit in this location. So I'm going to disconnect the water line. Alright, so no water, no spillage. Alright, next thing we need to do is we need to take these caps off. And then we need to take these nuts loose. So the first one just popped right off. Well, I might have been pulling a little too far down. Screwdriver, pop the other cap off. I've got a small 6-inch adjustable here. I'm going to use it. Take these nuts off. Maybe. If I can make out what's going on here. That did not feel very tight. That almost looks like there's something there, but I think it's part of the base. I don't do that very well. I'm taking that off. So I'm going to get the paper towels that weren't needed. Get my hardware and get it out of the way. Alright. I didn't need these for the water, but I am going to need them to clog the tank, the toilet drain, the access to the tank when I pull the toilet off. Alright, so we'll try to pull that toilet off. I would put this here so you could see it, but maybe I'll stand this right here. And watch it come up. So there it is. I'm just going to lift it straight up. Easy. Set it out of the way. Put a paper towel in there. The reason I'm putting a paper towel in there is because it's access to a poop tank. Black water tank, whatever you want to call it. So it stinks, and I don't want to drop anything in there. And if I drop anything in there, I am not chasing it. I'm making this video because I am replacing my toilet bowl with a Dometic320. Now I watched some videos, and most of the videos for the Dometic320, the toilet is diagonal into a corner, which does not help me at all. Help me out at all, because here's my issue. I don't know if the toilet's going to fit, and this is the reason why I say I don't know if it's going to fit. I've got 10.5 inches to my bolts. The rough end for the Dometic320 is 11 inches, so you can see I'm a 1/2 inch shy. Alright, this, I'm going to tell you this too. The Dometic320 requires a 10-inch rough end. So I know a Dometic320 will fit here. However, I just saw a Dometic320 and the measurement from the bolts to the back wall was about that right there. About 9 1/4. So if they're allowing 3/4 of an inch gap for the Dometic320, maybe they're allowing 3/4 for the Dometic320, meaning it will fit this location. Well, we're about to find out. Stay tuned. Da, da, da. All right, just got my 320 toilet today. This one is elongated. It's it's the high profile, which means it's the tall one. It's white. It's porcelain on the upper half, and the base is that plastic polymer crap. All right, so there it is. I'm gonna pull it out. Camera magic. In 3, 2, 1. Look at there. Toilet's gone like magic. I will say this, it's packed really well. Dometic did a good job with the packing material. Big gap there. I like that. I'm just checking out the box. Hold on a second. All right, here's the toilet bowl. Again, plastic base, porcelain top. I have seen some bad reviews about that seal in between these leaking and not being serviceable. I'm crossing my fingers I don't have that problem. So there's what we got. There's the water valve, not in too unorthodox position. So what I'm looking at right now is, before I unwrap this thing, use my tape measure, or measuring tape, depending on where you're from. You put that out there. Here's the center of my bolts. And looking straight down over the top of this thing, I'm saying I've got maybe 10 inches. I think I'm going to fit. The rough end is 11, but it looks like closer to 10 will be okay. All right, so I'm going to set it on the bolts and see what happens. Here, let me set you back down here on the floor. Just a FYI, the toilet bowl does come with a seal already installed. And that seal right there does have to come off. Alright, let me see what I can do about getting this seal up. There's the seal. I'm going to clean that. Get all the debris off of there. Nothing like scrubbing in the toilet hole. Alright. Before we go any further, let's read the instructions. Alright. There's your instructions. If you want to pause on that and try to read them. The big thing here is right after the second number 3, figure 3D, it says floor flange must be secured to the floor with a minimum of 4 screws. So let me show you what they're talking about. They want that flange to have at least 4 screws, preferably 8, and it has 8. That's what they're talking about. And the instructions then say to align the mounting bolts with the holes in the toilet base and set it in there. Alright, here's the hardware the mounting hardware that the manufacturer sent. Here's the nut they sent. I'm assuming it's going to fit this. But they want this over that nut when you're done. Which you can clearly see the nut for my bolts is a lot bigger. So if I use my bolts, this cap isn't going to fit. So fits there. Does not fit there. So I need to swap out these bolts so that I can use these nuts. Woohoo! Alright. Alright, here you go. Hold down bolts. Pull it out. Set these to the side. Just sliding it right out the slot. Get that stubborn old thing out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Put in the manufacturer supplied hardware. Right now I'm putting the nut down over the nut down over that hold down bolt. Getting it finger tight. Alright, as you tighten this up, they want you to alternate between the left side and the right side. Get this finger tight. I don't know if you can see that, but that's an 11mm wrench. So we're going to tighten it up using a wrench. It's a lot easier than adjustable. Alternate sides. All right. I think we're good right there. All right, so it is not quite, just barely not hitting the wall. I mean, I can actually slide something down in between there. Let's start over. Okay, there, it's installed. It is installed, but it's not really pressing, but it is right up against that wall. The toilet bowl lid will go up. So let's check the water supply. Will the water supply work? Okay, looky here. The water, naturally, this is a different toilet, so it's built differently. This supply is not going to reach this valve. But there's plenty of room to hook water to this valve, because this part of the toilet bowl sticks out a lot further than the water connection does. So what I'll have to do is modify this PEX. I've seen some options. You can change this from PEX to a braided line. I've seen where at the store where they've had braided lines that's had ball valves on them. I just need to make sure I can find one that connects to this. Maybe I'll do that, go from PEX to a braided line. So no matter what toilet I put in here in the future, it's flexible and I don't have to worry about adjusting the water line ever again. So I'll keep you updated on, or I'll tell you what, I won't even upload this video until I get the water line done. So, but right now, the mounting looks good. Yeah, I am against the wall a little bit, but I can live with that. I didn't put any real pressure on the wall, so I'm okay with it. Having this kind of toilet versus the one I just took out is a lot better for a dude. Just saying. Alright, went to my local Lowe's, big box store. If you don't have a Lowe's, it's like a Home Depot, except different. This is what I got. This is a 20-inch hose. It's a little longer than I would like, but it's about the only thing they had to offer. So, this is the hose here. The 1/2 inch connection there, and my 1/2 inch shark bite. Which, this will be my first time using shark bite. I usually don't use this stuff, so we're going to see how this works. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this pipe, this PEX pipe, up relatively high. That way any further modifications that have to be made in the future, there's plenty of pipe to do so. So I'm going to cut it up relatively high. So I'm going to cut that essentially right about there. Turn the light on so you can see this a little better. See, this is brass. This is plastic. So if this was brass and this was brass, we wouldn't need tape. But it's not. We need to put some Teflon tape on here. The fitting screws on in this direction, so the tape needs to be wrapped in this direction. I'm going to wrap this in the same direction I'm putting my fitting on, or screwing my fitting on. Putting a little tension on it as I, so if I can screw this on, we're pretty tight. It should be good. With the Teflon tape filling up the gap between the threads, we should have a good seal. So there you go. Okay, so we're done. Not sure where that video stopped, but we're done. Alright, we got the tank installed, got the hold down hardware on and covered. Water supply has been tapped into with the new hose. The new hose has a water valve so that we can cut water on and off here depending on whether or not we have a problem or any other reason we choose to cut the water off for. Our connection to our toilet is complete. Use the Teflon tape on there, and we're ready to go. Alright, so the only issue with this whole tank was the 320's rough end measurement of 11 inches we didn't have. We had 10.5. We installed it. We're right at the wall, kind of against it, but we're not really pushing on it, as you can see there. There's a stud right there, so I can't push any further than that. But we're not really pushing on it that much. So right there's that stud. So we're not too bad. Made a good seal, got tight. So I wanted the 320. It's concerned about space. Doesn't appear to be a big issue. So 10.5 inches. I also read a complaint about these, about this. The noise. Okay. So they might be right with the noise. Maybe that wears in. There we go. Look at there. Yeah, do it a few times. It seemed to went away. All right. We'll have to see how that holds up. All right, guys. That's the way I did it. Like and subscribe. Any comments? Let me know. Happy camping, everyone. Toilet's being tested by the wife. He gives it the 2 thumbs up.